The Front Row Sports Show on 101 FM, proudly sponsored by Keith for Wheels, Smallwood Street, Underwood, 3841 6244. We'll keep you moving.
Welcome back to the Front Row on 101 FM. Kevin Braysher, Craig Crowley still with you, taking you through all the way till 10 o'clock today. A reminder, you can get the show on social media. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/the Front Row 101 FM. We're also on Twitter at Front Row 101 FM. So Facebook and Twitter, give us a like and a follow to stay up to date with all things the Front Row. Our next guest, he's a Queensland Rugby League legend, 233 first grade games, 22 origins, 4 as captain, 3 tests. He's remembered as one of the toughest players to ever play the game. A couple of weeks ago, he completed a brutal 1,400-kilometre walk from Townsville to Brisbane. Why did he do it? Well, that's what we've got Trevor Gillmeister here to tell us all about. Gilly, welcome to the Front Row.
Morning, boys. How are you?
Mate, we're very good. We're very happy to have you on the show. So let's get straight to it, mate. Taking an axe to asbestos, mate. What is it?
Mate, basically it was just a walk I wanted to do to raise awareness. The main thing is raise awareness on asbestos disease, raise some funds along the way as well. So, as you said, Townsville to Brizzy, met some amazing people, and probably the biggest concern for me nowadays is a lot of the home renovation shows and stuff like that. And a lot of people, every second person thinks you're a builder now, so they're going and they're knocking walls down and really don't know what they're doing. So I just want to stress to people, try and get some professional help before you start renovating your house and knocking a few walls down and stuff like that. So that's the biggest concern for me. I lost my father 5 years ago, actually last week. Mate, it's a terrible disease. I know cancer in general is not nice, but it's particularly nasty. And I just try to raise that awareness for people. And as I said, 10 years' time, they're worried about a massive spike again for all the home renovation shows. So hopefully people are a bit more aware of what's going on.
Yeah, you're right, Trevor, in the fact that there's a lot of awareness about breast cancer and well documented, and they do such a terrific job. But there's so many more other there. It's the cancer itself. I'm in the same boat as you. I lost my sister to cancer 2 years ago, and it's so aggressive. It's not a nice one. Not that any of them are, but it's nearly uncurable when you get it. And I think the awareness that people have to do to, as you said, about the houses that people are trying to do, and just the awareness of how you can contract it, because at this stage we still don't know how my sister contracted the asbestos cancer. So I think it's great to have a solution and all that, but I think the awareness is so important.
No, you did right. As I said, a lot of people think it's predominantly males that get it. And as you just said, your sister, we met quite a few people on our walk that females have been affected by it. And a lot of them are cleaners, and a lot of them used to wash their husband's clothes. Shake their overalls out when they come out of day's work, and that's how they contracted it. So there's plenty of ways, and some terrible stories. People in their 20s. Dying from it because they used to help mum and dad when they were a kid. You just go in the house and with a little dustpan and brush them while they go, and so that's terrible. So hopefully, as I said, we can raise that awareness. I do notice it a little bit more in the papers nowadays, raising that awareness as well. So hopefully that triggers people's minds to be more aware of it. So hopefully, we can do it. Look, the money we raise, a lot of it will probably go to helping some of the, especially the people live in the country, going with the medical facilities we got, in the cities. So hopefully we can get a few of those people flown down, accommodate them, and try and make life a little bit easier for them anyway. So hopefully we can do a bit of that.
Tell us a bit about the walk, mate. You mentioned there some of the people you met along the way, but tell us, how long a day would you be walking and how far it was, and where were some of the places and the people that you saw along the way?
It averaged between 40 and 60 Ks a day. The longest day was 80 Ks, was on that lovely Marlborough stretch. If anyone's ever driven that, it's more dead roos than you'll take a stick at. you get, I don't mind saying, you get a bit bored and boring, sometimes, and you need a good sense of humour along the way. So what we started doing was rating the smells of the kangaroos, the dead ones. So, that's how bored we got. But I had quite a few of the boys, the old Origin boys, come and have a walk with us a couple of days. Jason Hetherington was with me on that day, so it was quite funny. His wife rang us and told us there's 80 Ks that day, and she rang us and told us it took him 5 minutes to get off the toilet the next morning because his legs wouldn't work. So that was quite funny. Mate, we met up with some amazing people. You know what the country people like. We went and stayed in these little country pubs. They'd feed you, accommodate you, and then give you $200. Wouldn't take any money, and they give you $200 when you leave. Yeah. It's quite amazing. I think we've still got money coming in now. I think we've got about 144,000 so far. So, which will all go straight into the society. Hopefully, raise a few dollars, and for the awareness side of it, things as well. So we're going to be creating a few little ads and that in the local country papers and that, so they can know that there's some support there for them, so they can. Put the hand out, and hopefully we can fly a few people down and look after them. So, mate, I was just amazed. I would have had a dozen people at least, crying on my shoulder, telling me about their mother or their father or their uncle, their auntie, and so it was just kind of, I never thought I'd be like this, but I kind of feel a bit of responsibility now to make sure I kick on and do something more about it for these people that have been affected, especially in the country areas. So hopefully that's something we'll be able to do in the future.
Yeah, through your walk, mate, no doubt you would have stayed off at a few towns and rested up, and you would have obviously done a few functions there on the way. Any stories that come out of it? Any apart from the sad stories that we hear, any just good stories on the whole walk?
Oh, yeah, it's as I said, mate, just saying, the country people just, never cease to amaze you. Like, we stayed at a Home Hill Hotel, and they fed us, accommodated us, and then we left. We had a 60K walk that day, and it was a Sunday, and then they shut the pub, and the people come out, drove 60Ks out, brought all the food out for us, waited for us to eat, and then they went back. After 60 Ks, you know what I mean? So, just amazing. I had quite a few of the boys, as I said, come up and walk with us. Alfie and Marty Lang come up to Mackay. I don't know if Alf was a help or a hindrance. I was so glad Johnny Cartwright was there to take the pressure right off me. So, it was, but as I said, you need to have a sense of humour when you're doing these things, and a bit of fun. And I had some great support with me. I had a great group of people, Sandra Williamson and her son Aidan and her father Don. They lost their mother 12 months ago from it as well. So, as I said, it's not predominantly males, it's a lot of females as well. So, and she came with me the whole way, Sandra, she did a great job, and her son Aidan. So that was great. And I just think, as I said, that the great people I've met, as I said, I'm going to do a trip back up to Bowen, actually. Mickey McLean's a good mate of mine, and he lent me his trailer. So I've got to do a run back to get his trailer. So I'm going to call in and see all the people that looked after us on the way, and maybe have a beer. I won't be walking this time, I can tell you. I'll be driving. So I'll do that for those people, yeah.
It's a brilliant story, mate, and a lot of this is raising money and awareness for the Asbestos-related disease support society there, mate. What can you tell us about that organisation and the work they do?
Yeah, the girls there, and I've been an ambassador for them for the last 3 or 4 years. They do an unbelievable job, just trying to trace back the poor people that have been affected by it, and get a bit of an idea on where they're going, and support them with maybe subsidise some of their medication and things like that. Because as you know, it's not cheap, as well. Going if their partner or their breadwinner is in hospital, as well, and that costs them a lot of money, to keep them going and all that type of thing as well. So as I said, hopefully, I know all that money's going to a great cause. There's no drama there, but hopefully we can raise some more along the way as well, and hopefully find a cure for it. I had a walk with Jared Blay, the Attorney General, and I was chewing his ear off for a couple of hours, I can tell you, boys, and he he is, I'm having some meetings with him along the way, along with the Premier and Peter Dutton, the National Health Minister. So hopefully can we can do a bit more for some of these poor people.
How can the people at home get involved, mate? So where do they go to donate money or get involved in supporting the cause in some way?
Yeah, you can get on that www.walkfororawareness.com.au. You go to the link, 2014 Asbestos Walk. But yeah, it's been an amazing trip. As I said, I got more out of it than I ever thought I would. Met some amazing people. So as I said, it's been a real eye-opener for me, and hopefully we can, as I said, raise some more bucks along the way as well.
Absolutely. Gilly, we really appreciate your time this morning, mate. It's a fantastic story and a great cause. We hope plenty more people continue to get behind it, mate. Trevor Gillmeister, thank you so much for being with us this morning.
No, I appreciate your support, boys. Thank you.
No worries at all. We'll take a break here on the front row. We'll be right back after this.